Hello, and thanks for taking the time to watch this video. This time, I'm not going to play Arachne Marionette, as you probably have guessed from the thumbnail of this video, but if you take a closer look at the logo from my channel, the T is definitely showing off some assassin vibes, especially the Arachne Marionette vibes, but the D from down is very, very closely tied to Levia, because Levia was probably the hero that I've played the most so far, and where I've seen my first small successes. But I haven't touched her in a while because she didn't feel right into the current meta. But then, just the other day, ManSants released a new Levia list based on some of the new inclusions that were possible with Super Slam. And so I'm very intrigued to give this a try and see if she feels hot again. And yeah, let's take a look. So this game is against Lyath. And not only is this, I think, my only second game with this list, but it's also my first game into Lyath. So you'll probably notice that there are some things that I just didn't anticipate because I didn't know the cards. And I definitely feel quite rusty on Levia. But let's take a closer look at this. Cool. So at first, obviously, I want to get some graveyard fill going. So I want to play the Smashback Alehorn here to set up some Go Again and a Might, and then use the Deadwood Rumbler to pitch into Swing Big, because Deadwood Rumbler is one of the poorest arsenal targets for sure. And I mean, Tear Limp from Limp has a lot of upside already on turn 2. It creates graveyard fill, but also could make one of my attacks really powerful. So here I'm studying the hero ability of Lyath because I had no idea what this little guardian can do. And so here my opponent, obviously it's turn 0, right? So they can put a lot of card in front of this, and I need to check the cards, what they can do. And so here, because he already puts Rampart in front of it, obviously he doesn't want to get any damage. He has the upside of getting a Quicken token. And now he can pitch into the hero ability to make 7 or 8 block out of the cards, because he can pitch 1 into Rampart and 2 into the hero ability, and this is blocked out. But I feel okay. I have 2 cards in graveyard already. I have a very strong arsenal target. And my next hand, well, in theory, could be gas, I would say, right? I could use the Blood Rush, for example, to pitch in Tear Limb from Limp. It would be pretty guaranteed that I can play either the Boneyard or the Hungering, because I would draw a card. But I also have the Go Again, right? So I could think about blocking with the Hungering Slaughterbeast, for example, and then play the Boneyard into the Gravelin Growl for only 2 resources and come in with 14 damage. That would be kind of nice. But in order to do that, I definitely need to get 1 more card into graveyard to get the Boneyard Marauder live. So my opponent has played a Villainous Pose and now a Revolting Gesture. So attack coming in for quite some damage here, which is the Wee Wrecking Ball. Never seen this card before, but obviously when it crushes, so when it deals 4 or more damage, it destroys a card in my arsenal. And so here I'm currently thinking, is it worth blocking with my full hand? But I don't want to get rid of the Blood Rush. I mean, Guardian games can go quite long at times. I don't know about Lyath, because as I said, I haven't played against him before. So I decide to only block with a Hungering Slaughterbeast, which allows me to play the line I just said, Blood Rush Bellow, pitching into the Boneyard Marauder and then into the Grappling Growl. Cool, and so here we go. We have 4 cards in graveyard. So it gets rid of everything but the Swing Big, which is nice. Only 1 blood tap. Well, there wasn't more blood tapped in there anyway, but keeping an 8 attack is obviously good here. The more 6s plus in my graveyard, the better. But I need to say, it's actually, it feels quite threatening when your opponent has 6 cards with the arsenal. So he plays a Leave Them Hanging, which, again, haven't seen this one before, with which he intimidates my hand. So, would intimidate the Grappling Growl, which definitely sucks. I mean, it would have been 14 damage that I could present here. But he also needs to pitch 2 cards in order to resolve this. And Grappling Growl, definitely not the worst arsenal target in the world. But just coming in for 7, which would put us quite close in life total. And so my opponent doesn't block here, takes 7, goes down to 33, and has 3 cards to attack me with. 2 mites pop in. And I think to leave them hanging, the +4 from that is only due 1 round later. Okay, so I put the Grappling Growl into Arsenal and see what the next hand brings. So actually kind of nice hand again, because my graveyard currently is only 2 6s. So what I could do is either I, for example, block with a Soul Harvest and then play the Shadow Realm Horror into the Grappling Growl. But because it guarantees me to hit 6, so 3 6s, I can also play a card from my graveyard. And there is a swing big. So if I give him the Dread Screamer now, I could use both the Soul Harvest as well as the resources from Call to the Grave to play the Shadow Realm Horror and then use the swing big afterwards. It feels a little bit bad to give up the Dread Screamer, but at the end, because they get banished now, I have a Dread Screamer guaranteed in my banish. So for the potential flip turn, this would be massive. And I still have the Grappling Growl in my arsenal. There's also, because of the resources that I have available, there's also another line that I could have taken where that would have required me to block with the hooves of the Shadow Beast the round before to not lose the 1 blocking value. But I could have used Shadow Realm Horror and pop the hooves, because that would allow me to play Shadow Realm Horror, then the swing big, and then the Grappling Growl I have in arsenal. And that would be 7 plus 7, so 14, plus the 8 from swing big, so 22 damage off of a few cards. So that would have definitely been quite nasty. And I would have definitely made more use of my resources. Plus, what I forgot here, because it's still totally new to me, is the Gauntlets of the Tyrannical Rex. Because I pitched the Soul Harvest first, Tyrannical Rex was live, so I could have used a resource into that to actually come in with another damage. So yeah, definitely left some potential here lying around. And I assume you want to be quite aggressive in this matchup, I guess. So yeah, definitely. I think blocking with the hooves last turn plus using the Tyrannical Rex would have been the way to go here. Because, I mean, he's down to 26 already. If I now present 23 damage, no matter how he blocks, he would get quite low already. By the way, this is the moment I noticed that I forgot using Tyrannical Rex. Starting to read the card properly. But yeah, I mean, learning curve. So here he pitches into this. He's also playing another instant for next turn. Well, 2 turns later. Creating a might there. And also setting up quite some damage. Okay. So I'm struggling a little bit with my graveyard, because obviously right now I only have 3 cards in there. And so here I am thinking how I play this. So I now notice that I could have used the hooves to play the Grappling Growl. And the unfortunate thing is that I don't have an option to play the Doomsday right here. I mean, ideally, I would want to put it into Arsenal because I'm not too far away from 6 Blood Debt. But at the same time, I can't really get rid of the Grappling Growl in my arsenal, because Endless Maw costs me 3 resources. And so I think, okay, I just keep up the pressure. I take 3 here. There's no on-head on my side. And so now I can use the Endless Maw, pitch either Tearful Limb from Limb or Doomsday. I could pop the hooves and then play the Grappling Growl. That also gives me 3 cards in graveyard for next turn, right? The Endless Maw, the hooves of the Shadow Beast, and then also the Grappling Growl from my arsenal. And I mean, my opponent is set up, right, with the, what's the name of the card? Edge of their Seats, I believe, which is +5, plus the 6 might. So that alone is +11 on their next attack. But yeah, as much as I've seen from Lyath now, they require some cards in order to get their attacks going. And yeah, so it seems he doesn't want to lose too much life here. He is blocking with the bully tactics. From what I understand, this is one of their power cards. But yeah, they obviously want to play a bit mid-rangey here as well. And so as soon as I see them blocking with Rampart, it seems that they want to use their hero power, pitch a blue, to get the bully tactics and the, what is it, booze, to go up 1 in block value and then 1 into the Rampart. So they block 8 here on my 9 attack. And now I can use the Grappling Growl from Arsenal. Still have 2 resources floating, right? So not really optimal. And this time I didn't have the option to pitch into Gauntlets of the Tyrannical Rex because there was no 6 in my pitch zone. So they take 6, go down to 16, but I expect quite a huge attack from them on their next turn. So my hand is okay. If I would have more graveyard, I could definitely do some more damage into them, because I could play the Dread Screamer into the Boneyard Marauder, or the Dread Screamer into the Show of Strength if I use the Boneyard Marauder's pitch. But they come in with this, what is it, Battered, Beaten, and Broken. They've intimidated my card, so if they hit me, they would destroy the Dread Screamer. And so what I'm thinking here is my hand does not really convert super well, right? I could throw like 6 damage, or with Show of Strength 8, but then I would also lose 4 to Blood Debt. And so I'm thinking maybe it's worth giving them the Carrion Husk, the Gauntlets, as well as my full hand. I would not take damage from this attack. I would definitely take 4 damage from Blood Debt next turn, but I could also set up a Dread Screamer in my arsenal, plus getting 3 more cards into my graveyard, going up to 6, which obviously allows me a lot more different plays with the Dread Screamer and any other potential banish card in my next hand. Yeah, so that's what I do. I block this out. Actually, I'm up to 5 Blood Tap because of the Carrion Husk. So go down to 22. And yeah, Lyath is setting up another Edge of their Seats. But again, only coming up in 2 turns. So ideally, even with me now passing the turn, ideally I can present some more damage before. But obviously, Lyath can also present something with their next hand. So putting Dread Screamer into Arsenal. And what's nice is I have another Grappling Growl. So Hungering Slaughterbeast, definitely a good card to block here. I could think about keeping the Agile Windup for another Go Again source when I discard it. But I could also block with it, but at the end it blocks 2. So in most cases, I assume the agility is the better value here. Okay, so another Revolting Gesture. Lyath creates a Might, and the next attack gets +3. But here, my opponent just comes in with the Titan's Fist for 5. I'm thinking about, adding the Hungering Slaughterbeast to block. I mean, I could put it into my arsenal for sure. That's on okay target, I guess. But also with my graveyard, I want to get ahead a little bit with graveyard fill, just in case. I really need to push with some of the banishing cards later. I do have quite a good banish zone already with 2 Go Again pieces. But yeah, let's add some more. First, Dread Screamer coming in for 6, also banishing 3 more, so going up to 8. Doomsday would be live if I would draw it again, but it's on the bottom of my deck if I don't get to shuffle. But also not too far away from Redeemed, which against Guardian can always come in handy. So here Lyath is taking 6. So if he takes the other 6, he would go down to 4 health. But that is also quite promising that the attack Lyath comes up with is quite mighty. But now with an agility setup, I hope that I draw a good enough hand that I can pressure him down. And the hand is not ideal, I would say. I'm missing the blue. If I would have a blue, I could play, for example, Withering Beasthawk into Graveling Growl, or if, for example, I have the Graveling Growl and another blue, I could play Endless Maw into Withering Beasthawk. I think that would be almost guaranteed lethal. But here my opponent is stacking quite a few buffs. He has intimidated the Graveling Growl already. Here comes another buff with the Nimblism. And now power play. Wow. So coming in for 19, I'm at 20 life. So that would bring me down to 1. Quickly checking here, is there any on hit? Anything that he can do when he hits me? But yeah, there's not. So thinking about giving him the flashback here and or the gauntlets. I do not really want to give him any cards of my hand because of the pitch curve I have right now. There is just very little room, and so now with the hand that I have, I could play the Withering Beasthawk and then the Graveling Growl. I could also block with the Vigorous Smash Up and the Endless Maw to, take 6 less damage and then also only come in with the Withering Beasthawk. I mean, the Dominate is quite strong here. I could also block with a Vigorous Smash Up and ideally get the Vigor from it and then use the Graveling Growl to pitch into Endless Maw. But yeah, that first of all requires me to win the clash. So I decide to not block anything, but here go with the damage route. It's probably a little bit optimistic because in order to survive this going forward with 10 Blood Debt, I need to see Banisher cards in my next few hands. And here, obviously, my opponent needs to see how he blocks this in order to survive because they're down to 4. This has Dominate. All right, and here my opponent blocks with 1 card from hand, the Rampart and the Tunic. Pitches into the hero ability and into the Rampart. So taking 1 goes down to 3, and here I come in with a Graveling Growl for another 6. He still has 1 block on his arms piece, but doesn't seem to want to use this because he can't get the +2 value off of it because there is no aura in play. And yeah, I mean, he has 3 cards left. If they are 3 blocks, they only block for 2, so he would need to give me the whole hand in order to block this out in full. Can also keep 1 hand card, of course, would take 2, as he does here, goes down to 1. Okay, quite some blues in my next hand, but the good thing is there's a Smashback Alehorn, so I can set up some go again. And he comes in with a Battered, Beaten, and Broken. It only comes in for 3, and so here I'm thinking, okay, I give him my equipment, didn't use the Tyrannical Rex once. I mean, I could have at least once. Also, this turn, I could use it. But yeah, surviving here is better for me. And I need to banish something, right? And so I want to keep the Unworldly Bellow, pitch 1 resource into it. Luckily, hit 1/6. And now I can come in with a Swing Big for 10 after playing the Smashback Alehorn and setting up that go again and might for next turn. So with just 1 life left, I mean, yes, he still has the Attention Grabbers. He obviously also has the Rampart, but given his hero ability, he needs to put quite some cards in front of this. So this, if he would use the hero ability, would block for... So this would go up to 10 if he uses the hero ability, but that would mean he needs to give me his whole hand, or better to say now, use the other card to pitch into his hero ability to make this happen. So here it seems to me that if you can bring down Lyath to a low enough health that you can actually pressure him quite a bit. Okay, and here my next hand. plus the go again. So here I would probably go Endless Maw, pitch the Wrecker Rump, and then I can use the Unworldly Bellow to come in with the Agile Windup. That would come in for 10 and then 6. Turn of Blood Debt here with the Endless Maw, banish 2 6s. And so 10, a similar power level to what I had in the last turn, but here the upside is I have another attack coming. It could be Claw, for example. So maybe I should, depending on how he blocks and how much likelihood there is that he survives this, I could also just use the Agile Windup to, pitch into Mandible Claws to come in for another 3, and then set up the Unworldly Bellow in Arsenal to have a Banisher in hand guaranteed. But here, it already seems like he's not going to survive this. He's pitching into the ability. Oh, he doesn't have a blue, right? So he can't even block with Rampart. So this is only going up to 9, and I win this game. Yeah, very interesting matchup against Lyath. As I said, I had no idea how this hero works. But the list from Ethan, from ManSants, feels really powerful mid-range list. So I'll definitely spend some more time to it. And now already thinking, do I play Mario or do I play Levia at Calling Hamburg? What's your take? What would you play? Let me know in the comments, and see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.